I tried to unclog a toilet in the most ridiculous way possible. I made several different toilet plungers powered by gunpowder, compressed air, and power tools. I love taking everyday tasks and building devices to do them in the most dangerous, over-engineered, and impractical way possible. For example, my pneumatic bottle opener, tactical fly swatter, and dish wiper. This video is sponsored by Kiwico. I started by going to the hardware store and buying 2 of their cheapest toilets. I better get 2 just in case. And I set one up on a stand so I can have it drain into a bucket. I don't know why that's so funny. To be able to test the plungers, I needed to simulate a clog in the toilet. I found that Play-Doh was the perfect solution for a good human waste analog, and for the plunger I went with what I felt like is the most common type. To make a gunpowder actuated plunger, I used a tool called a ram set. It's basically a high-powered nail gun that uses blank cartridges to shoot into concrete or steel. Normally when you use this tool, you have to press the end against your part for it to fire. That's how the safety works. In this case, if I were to push down on the plunger, it would compress the plunger before it had a chance to fire. What I've learned is I can pull back on the front with a pair of vice grips for it to fire in mid-air. The problem with this is when it fires, it puts a ton of shock on the end that my hand is holding on to. So instead of using vice grips, I made a pair of legs that react against the toilet bowl, hoping it wouldn't shatter the toilet. Okay, this is insanity. 3, 2, 1. And that turned out to be a disaster, so instead of using legs to compress the safety, I ended up making a handle. And to connect the plunger with the ram set, I welded up this steel fitting that slips inside the barrel. And I epoxied that fitting to the plunger handle. I'm not an engineer, so for me, building a device from scratch to fire gunpowder was not something I wanted to mess with. The only reason I considered doing this project is because I went with a store-bought tool that is already designed and engineered to do pretty much what I was asking of it. To prove that the handle was going to work, I decided to try shooting a plunger for distance. 3, 2, 1. That was a good bit of recoil. There's a lot of masses pushing off. If I were a villain that shot toilet plungers, what would my catchphrase be? It shot about 70 feet. And after proving that, it was time to make an obstruction with Play-Doh. This is so gross. This thing is proper clogged. Here we go. Explosive toilet plunger versus artificial obstruction in 3, 2, 1. Dang. I think I might have clogged it too much. Yeah. Oh, dude. Look what the ram set did to this thing. It sheared off the rubber. That's crazy. I broke a toilet plunger with gunpowder. Now I have to get the Play-Doh out so I can reset this whole test. There's only one way to do that. Oh, there it is. Ew, it's so slimy. I wasn't able to free this blockage with gunpowder, and since I couldn't reach the Play-Doh to pull it out, I figured I should try using my air cannon. I've made several air cannons in the past, some more complicated than others, but this one is as simple as it gets. You can buy this whole thing on Amazon, and if you want to launch stuff with it, you just need a couple plumbing fittings to fashion a barrel with. But to create a good seal on the toilet, I modified a plunger boot and hose clamped it onto the barrel. About to get messy. If this doesn't unclog it, then I don't know what will. I don't think I'm ready for this. Air cannon toilet plunger in 3, 2, 1. Worth it. One. Look what it did to the boot. It totally busted the hose clamp off and then pushed the boot back a couple inches. That did not work at all. I think I clogged it too much. I think we need to take a step back and find a realistic obstruction and then try all the devices again after I change. And at this point, I still needed to get the clog out so I could reset this experiment, and I found a product while researching my air cannon plunger. It's basically the same thing, just smaller and a bit less pressure. Plus it has this rubber bladder that expands inside the drain and creates a really great seal. 85 PSI in 3, 2, 1. And another. Oh yeah. There we go, we're back in business. I'm actually really impressed with this thing. This is not sponsored. This thing is pretty tight. But you know who is sponsoring this video? Kiwico. Kiwico creates super cool hands-on projects to expose kids to the concepts of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. They offer 9 subscription lines, each catering to different age groups and topics. I asked for a Eureka crate. It comes with everything you need. You don't need any of what you see behind me. I love how a lot of their crates are made from laser cut wood because it teaches you how to use 2D shapes to create 3D bodies, which is a fundamental to building stuff that I use all of the time. Kiwico crates are something I genuinely wish I had growing up. As a kid, I was itching to build stuff and explore science in hands-on ways, and I'm certain that these crates would have grown that curiosity. Oh, dude. Oh, it's a cam. It's a cam. Kiwico crates make an awesome gift. They ship to more than 40 countries. And if you're interested, use my link in the description to get 50% off your first month of any crate. Head to kiwico.com/Tyler Bell. And thank you, Kiwico, for sponsoring this video. Since none of my devices worked on this obstruction and I wasn't willing to accept defeat just yet, I came to the conclusion that this clog must have been too severe. For this next clog, I used a bit less Play-Doh. There we go. I'd say that's pretty repeatable now. A friend from work suggested that I use a certain power tool that basically replicates how a plunger is used by hand. All right. There we go. Reciprocating saw plunger in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait. Oh, it worked. And after that success, I moved on to the air cannon. Yep, that's a clog. All right, this is 100 PSI. Air cannon versus toilet clog. 3, 2, 1. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Yes! Success! It worked. Ta-da! You're just so careful. And after showering myself in toilet water for the second time, I gave the explosive plunger another go. That is so weird dropping that block of Play-Doh in there. I've got a new plunger and I'm using a stronger blank shell in the RAM set. Please clog. Yeah. Gunpowder toilet plunger in 3, 2, 1. That's wild. It totally inverted the plunger. That is crazy. That's crazy. Let's see if I broke it free. Nope. Shot number 2 in 3, 2, 1. It flushed. Yes! Oh yeah. That's a success. I unclogged the toilet with gunpowder. Plunger versus toilet tank, because why not? I guess. 3, 2, 1. Holy cow! Amazing. Click right here if you want to see more videos like this one, and I don't think there's a more insane way to unclog a toilet short of dropping a plunger from orbit.